Hey guys, this is a video for Captain Tsubasa 2 World Fighters. I decided to cover this game just like I covered the first one, Captain Tsubasa Rising New Champions. This game is only for PS5, I believe Steam, and the Switch. I'm not sure if it's a Switch 1 or 2. I think it might be the Switch 1, but it would be shocking if it is 1 and not 2. But just wanted to go over some things regarding the game, such as the possible teams that might be in the game, as well as the features that are going to be presented, some speculations on the characters that might appear, and of course, if you guys did see the trailer, which I'm sure you guys have, you do see Natureza at the end. A lot of people are skeptical, but I'm going to show you some proof as to why it is Natureza and why you can expect them to be in the game. And in the previous game, Rising New Champion, Carlos was the captain. In this one, I'm not sure who's the captain, but Carlos is wearing number 11, which is a big indicator that number 10, Natureza, will appear. But hang on tight, guys. We're just going to go over some things real quick, and let's jump right into it. Rising New Champions, we had 10 original teams. It was Germany, England, Japan, US, France, Uruguay, Netherlands, Italy, Senegal, and Argentina. And then there's an 11th team that you can unlock by playing the game, which is Brazil, which is the final team. And once you unlock them, you can choose between all the teams. But this game is said to have 22 national teams. So it goes from 11, it doubles to 22. And in the game, there were some teams that did appear in the story, like Portugal, Spain were mentioned. Mexico was in the tournament. Thailand was in it, but just as exhibition games. They weren't officially part of the tournament. There was one unknown team, and also Saudi Arabia was also in the tournament. So you had 16, and one of them was unknown. And we did get the DLC characters of Sweden, but he was there just to observe. China was also there to observe. And what else am I missing? Mark, which was with Saudi Arabia, he was playable, but his team was not. And Espadas, Ricardo for Mexico, the goalkeeper, he was also in the game, but not his team. Now, in this game, in the trailer, you do see Carlos, you do see Sweden, you do see Levine, you do see all the other teams that were mentioned, or just all the other players that we're just observing. You see them in this game now. So this game won't be focusing on middle school. As far as we know, they might start with Tsubasa in Brazil, but we don't know that yet. But let's cover what teams might appear, and let's go over some other stuff that is going to be in the game. The first team is Japan, and we have, after Japan, we have Germany, Karl-Heinz Snyder, France, Pierre, Argentina with Diaz, Netherlands with the group, Italy, England is kind of pathetically weak in the game. Uruguay is cool when you add Rioma. Senegal was pretty cool, but not that strong. And the US, which was the powerhouse, and Brazil, who was also the powerhouse. And the US being the final antagonist in the game, in the Rising Champion. Now, some other teams that appeared in Rising Champions that I mentioned before, we're going to go over those teams and touch base, because there were a total of 16 teams in the tournament, and one of those teams being Portugal, and it was mentioned by George Cardinal, if you guys remember the character. He said there was a certain player in Portugal that stood out among the rest. So the first team, Saudi Arabia, we have Mexico, and we have Sweden, Thailand, Portugal, Spain, and China. We're going to touch base on all those teams. So Saudi Arabia was in the tournament. Mark O'Wyron, he was their captain. His team did not appear. His kit was seen in the game. He's playable as a character. Same thing for Mexico. The team was in the tournament. They were usually getting their asses kicked, I believe. The captain, the goalkeeper, Ricardo, was playable. Sweden was not playable, but Levin was there to observe. And I think these three teams right here are going to be included in World Fighters. So along with the 11 team from the original that were playable, Saudi Arabia, Mexico, and Sweden, in my opinion, will be playable. Now we have a few other teams such as Thailand, China, with Thailand being the captain. His team was playable as an exhibition. They never officially joined the tournament. China, again, was there to observe. I believe the captain, I believe he's the captain. I could be wrong. I think he's the captain, or it might be another guy in Team China. I would have to look into that. But he was there with his grandfather. They were observing. And I believe those two teams will also be included. So Thailand would be number 15. Portugal would be there as well with Spain. Portugal was mentioned by George Cardinal to have a special talent, a midfielder. Spain was there. They didn't mention much about Spain, but it was there. So they can give us some original characters for Portugal, for Spain. And China, they can give us the characters that appear in the manga. And yeah, that would be 18 teams. And my last guess, South Korea would be the 19th team that I would assume would be in the game, because they were the final opponents to Team Japan in the qualifiers, Asia qualifiers. So it depends on how the story is going to flow. Is it going to go through the Asian qualifiers, or is it going to be original like the Rising Champions? And is it going to introduce something different? We're going to find out in a few weeks from now. This is all speculations. So let's recap. We have the 11 original teams in Rising New Champions, which is Japan, Germany, Brazil, France, Netherlands, Argentina, Uruguay, England, Senegal, Italy, and the US. That's 11 teams. These are all playable. Mexico, Portugal, Spain, Saudi Arabia, and there was an unknown team. So Spain, they participated, but they never mentioned, like I stated, much about them. They did. I think they went against Brazil in Saudi Arabia, and Brazil's last match was against Spain, according to the Rising New Champions. Saudi Arabia was unplayable team, but you can unlock the captain, Marco Ryan, via DLC. You do see him in the cutscenes and stuff like that, because if you get the DLC, I believe he still appears even if you don't get the DLC or not. I don't know, because I have the DLC. And then the other team is the Portugal, which is mentioned in the tournament, and according to George Cardinal, like I stated, there is a midfielder who stands out among the rest of the Portugal squad, so that could be the original character for Portugal. We might get the other characters for Team Mexico, which was also mentioned in the tournament. Ricardo appeared as the DLC, so hopefully we get the full Aztec team, which would be really cool. And Spain, I don't know what to expect from Spain. It's not going to be Michael. I don't think it's going to be Michael. Maybe if they are going to make a part 3 and a part 4 in the future, maybe we'll see Michael. But right now, it'll probably be a weaker, dumbed down version of Team Spain. Maybe they'll be cool. Portugal, same can be said. I'm not sure who to expect there. They said a midfielder that stands out. Could it be maybe a certain someone that stands out in the manga? We'll find out. And I think that's... Oh, and then the other team, which is the unknown team. This team could be anybody. It can be a team from the original manga, because there were some teams in Rising New Champions that appeared in the manga, but did not appear in Rising New Champions. That was Malaysia, Canada, and Belgium. They did appear in the original manga, so that could have been any of those. That could be number 20 right there. Thailand again. They appear in the story. They appeared also in episode 0 against Senegal. The captain Buknak, I can't see pronounce his name. He appeared as a DLC. His team was not in the tournament, but they did. They did versus in exhibitions. And then we have China, and China didn't appear in the tournament, But the captain, I believe he's the captain, Zhao. He appears in the tournament simply just spectating. He travels to the United States with his grandfather to watch the challenge matches. Then you have Sweden. Stefan Levine appears as a DLC character. And he just comes as a task to analyze. So hopefully his other squad is there. I believe there's 3 other guys. I forgot their names. But again, the World Fighters will have 22 teams. We'll have 110 playable characters. And this doesn't include the middle school variation players. So that's going to be a lot of characters. And yeah, so far, that's my list. I have Japan has 1, Germany has 2, Brazil 3, France 4, Netherlands 5, Argentina 6, 7 Uruguay, England 8, Senegal 9, Italy 10, US 11, Sweden. So those are the original 11. They were playable in the first game, and there's no way why they wouldn't include all of them. You know, it wouldn't make any sense to cut one. So that's the original 11. And then you have the DLCs, Sweden, Mexico, Saudi Arabia, and my guess is China as well. And then you have the ones that were mentioned in the story, which is Portugal, Thailand, and Spain. So right there we have 12, 13, well, with Mexico, they were mentioned, 13, 14 Saudi Arabia, 15 Portugal, 16 Spain, 17 Thailand, and 18 China. So that's 18 teams. These are just the teams that were either playable, like the original 11, the mentioned in the story, like Portugal and Spain, and the observers / the ones mentioned, which is China, Thailand, and Sweden. So that's 18. And these, let's see. So that leaves us with, I guess, 4 slots, right? Let me see. So if World Fighters, again, is following the original manga with a twist, because Rise of the New Champions was following it, but with a twist, I believe there was like I haven't played that game in so long, but I know Tsubasa lost or something. What if? They had some like what ifs. So if they are following the actual manga, which I doubt it because the US was introduced, then Tsubasa would go to Brazil, right? We would get kind of like in Rise of the New Champion. We started in the middle school, they established a story, and then they went to the tournament. Maybe in this one, Tsubasa is in Brazil. Maybe he meets Natsureza there, right? They built the character up, because I believe in the manga he meets him in Brazil. I could be wrong. And then we probably also get to see Aoi, because Shingo Aoi was only a DLC character, so we maybe get to play with him. And because did Italy have? Shoot, I haven't played this game in so long. Did Italy have their defender? What's his name? I don't think they have their main defender. Shoot, I have to look into it. But I don't believe they have the main defender. I'll check it out. I think they only have their striker, that original character. But if they do now have the defender, and I will post them in the video right now, I'm doing an audio without looking. But if they do have that defender, Italy is going to have a cool striker, a defender. Who knows? They might give them an original midfielder. Because I know there was a midfielder, I believe, in the manga. I forgot. Or maybe I think it was a game in the past. But then if they're following all that, and I guess Misaki would be in France, Genzo would be in Germany, I'm not too sure. Then Japan will be part of the AFC, which is the qualifying tournament for the Asian areas. So that would include a few teams to qualify. But if they do abandon that and they go directly into a different story for World Fighters, that's cool too. But the 19th team that I think will appear is South Korea if they go in the Asian qualifying route. If they don't, they could still appear. But in Rise of the New Champions, I made a video a while back. There are some indicators like heavy tank dribble, which is done by one of the characters, Cha In Cheon. I probably pronounced that name wrong. But he has tank dribble. You can also create sand shot, which is Mark's move. Among other things, there were references about moves for other individuals. And again, the team does appear in the manga, so it wouldn't make any sense not to add South Korea. And they are the final opponents of Team Japan, so it would make a lot of sense to add them. And if they don't go that route again, they can still add them. So that leaves us with 3 teams: 20, 21, and 22. What do you guys think those teams are? I personally don't know. It can be anything from the manga. It could be Nigeria, Cameroon, Chile, Colombia, Belgium, Canada, Iraq, Denmark, any other country. It can be any other country. They can go. There were other countries in the original, the older games, like Chile. I think one of the older games had Chile. I believe they also had Colombia. So again, they can go any route. They can add any teams. And these teams appeared in the older Tecmo games. So what do you guys think the last 3 teams would be? Because I'm going to stop at 19. That's as far as I'm going to guess. Let's see if I get those right first. Again, I'm going off by the original 11. And then the DLCs. And then the ones that were mentioned in the story. And my only true original
Lastly,
guess,
I wanted to talk
South
to you guys
Korea.
about some of the references that the manga, that the game is taking from the manga, like the time where Tsubasa did that Phoenix shot and he was playing against Team China. So if you look at the main cover for Captain Tsubasa 2 World Fighters, and if you look at this strip right here, someone showed it to me. His name is Blue. He's in the Discord. You can join the Discord, by the way. It's going to be in the description. So that's a reference. Another reference was with, at the end of the trailer. If you go rewatch the trailer, I made a video about this a few days ago. You get to see Natureza using the sunlight for the sun. And if you look at the trailer, there's 2 lights. There's the ball and there's the sunlight. He jumps up, he uses the light, just like in the manga, and then he kicks it. And then you can look at the comparison too. I put a comparison here. I'll show you guys a short little clip, and you'll get to see the comparison. And yeah, I mean, so I feel like they're following the manga as close as possible, but I do feel like maybe there'll be some original things, especially if Team USA is going to be in it. I don't know yet, but as soon as I do know, we'll all find out if the new hero will still be in the game. The new hero for the previous one, Rise of New Champions, was so he can defeat Tsubasa. I don't know how he would fit into this one now. But I guess time will tell. We will see. For now, guys, this video is running close to 30 minutes, so I'm going to cut it short. I'll keep making other videos like this, a little shorter. But thank you for watching. Post your comments below. Again, if you want to join the Discord, I'll put it in the description. I'm trying to regrow it again. It's kind of dead right now. But yeah, thank you guys. Take care.